Hello, and welcome to another episode of my YouTube channel. First, I'd like to say a massive thank you to everyone that took the time to not only watch, but to leave comments, to actually subscribe to my channel. So I thought, you know what, I'll come back and give it another go. Now, I was fortunate enough at the weekend to see several really good bands, and in amongst all that revelry and headbanging and alcohol abuse, I obviously visited a couple of record stores, and it got me to thinking, how many times do we blind buy an album when really there's no reason to? We can stream it, we can watch on YouTube, but I think, we still do. So what I did was, I bought quite a lot of albums, but I want to show 5, 2 of which that were recommended by people. One person on the VC, another person during a very drunken conversation in a pub a couple of weeks ago, and the other 3 were purely just because of, that looks pretty, let's get it, see what happens. So that's what I did. So to start off with, Johnny Mac from Rock and Metal Plus. You'll all know him. If you're watching this, you definitely know who Johnny Mac is. If you don't, I'll try, if I can work out how to do it, leave the link down below to his channel, because apparently that's what you do on YouTube. So, the first album I bought, John showed it a couple of updates ago, and it's by Dorothea, or Dorothea Cottrell, and she is the lead singer from the band Windhand. They are superb. So I thought, yeah, we'll give it a go. Now, this is called Death Rock Folk Country. Came out this year on Relapse Records, and it's definitely not doom metal. It's very haunting, it's very melodic, it's acoustic, and there's sort of like a folk music type feel to it. I mean, it's first impression, which is all these. I haven't lived with them for very long, but first impressions, I thought, yeah, I've heard enough in this one to make me want to hear more and invest more time into it. Now, I know blind buying is a bit of a no-no to some people, and don't get me wrong, I've bought some absolute stinkers because I thought the cover looked good, or I like the sound of the strange band name. But this one, sorry for the glare by the way, this one it's metal, rock, it's different enough to be appealing. Give it a shout, you might like it. That's all I did, and I do. So, game on. The second album was recommended by a gentleman one very drunken evening in my local pub, and he said, had I heard of Jeff Loomis, which obviously Nevermore, currently an arch enemy, and I said, yeah, I think he's a brilliant guitarist. And he said, oh, have you heard of the supergroup he created called Conquering Dystopia? Which, no, I hadn't. So alongside Mr. Loomis in Conquering Dystopia, there is notes, that's why I'm looking down, Keith Morrow, who is apparently a whiz solo guitarist, Alex Webster, bass player, Cannibal Corpse at the moment, and Alex Rudinger, who is currently playing drums for Light the Torch with, I believe, Howard Jones is a singer, used to be in Killswitch and other projects. Anyway, it's instrumental, it's extremely technical death metal. So if you're not a fan of widdly guitar, you probably won't like it. And the one slight complaint I've got is it's got a lot of music, and it could probably be 3 or 4 songs less. It does seem to drag after a while. Now, if you're busy doing something mundane and you just want some music in the background, as to fill the air, give it a go. It's interesting enough to be, yeah. Apparently they got together, they were meeting at somebody's house, started jamming and thought, yeah, we'll do this. It was released in 2014 on Century Media Records. One and done. If they decide to do something else, then I'd probably listen to it. I'm not sure if I'd rush out to buy it, but you know, I might actually stream something instead of just buying it. Next one is a band called Putrescine. The album is called The Fading Flame, and it came out in 2021 on I knew I was going to struggle with this word, Tri-Droid Records. Now, I believe they've had a couple of demos out, but this is their only full length. And it's chaotic. It's good, it's different. There's a mix of harsh vocals and what like death metal growls. The musicianship is, it's all over, but in a good way. It doesn't, you know, some records just flow and it's effortless and you think, yeah, this is class. This has moments of just pure brutality, and other parts when you think, yeah, there's enough to make you think, yeah, it needs more time with. Like I say, most of them, they've had a couple of listens in the last couple of days, and they piqued my interest enough to think, stick them on a video, see if anybody else knows anything about them, see what anybody else thinks about them. So, yeah, it's this type of album where it gets you interested enough that you think, yeah, first listen, second listen, oh actually, third listen, yeah, a bit more time with it. It's either be a keepsake or a see you later VCLT for somebody. Right, now the next one, I bought this purely because of the artwork. And I called into Hardly Much Value in Manchester and saw the artwork and I thought, now that's impressive. Now I don't know how clear my camera's going to pick it up because the light's right above my bonds, but it's stunning. No idea it was initially, and then I read the little tiny hype sticker that was there and it said Wolves in the Throne Room. I went, penny dropped. Heard their last album, enjoyed it, let's give it a go. Now it's only an EP, it's got 4 tracks. I would say all 4 tracks are completely different to each other. It's black metal. The first track is, is there such a thing as traditional black metal? First wave of black metal. The second one, slightly more melodic. You flip it over, tracks 3 and 4 are almost like, I don't know if there's a black metal genre of folk music, but if there isn't, then tracks 3 and 4 on here probably fit into that category. Yeah, that's it. Again, a couple of listens, piqued my interest enough to think this is definitely worth spending more time in. So, now the band never heard of, again, blind buy as they all have been. Loved the artwork and I thought, now the name of the band is Leviatar and the album is called Lightless. Now this is classed as doom metal, not death doom, just doom metal, and this is the album I have played out of the 5 that I'm showing. This is the one that has been played the most in the last 2 days, to the point where as soon as I played it for about the 6th or 7th time, I thought, yeah, I need to hear more from these gents. Now this one came out in 2020, it is their second full length on Prosthetic Records. They're a Canadian band, I believe, and this has a type of uneasiness while you're listening to it that it's unnerving. It's quite claustrophobic in places, but not like cavernous or overpowering, but it sort of, it drags you along, and you just keep thinking, wow. Now I don't think I've got anything else that sounds like this, Doom related. Nothing springs to mind straight away. But again, the fact that I instantly went and ordered the first album after the 5th or 6th time of playing this, if I'd been doing such a thing as an album of the year list in 2020, this would have been number 1 by a country mile. Easily. It is that good. No, there's not a lot else to say about it, apart from, if you've got any interest in doom metal, including death doom as well, I would certainly, or even if you're thinking about getting into doom metal, it might be a good gateway album, because it is. So it's got complexities, it's got darker parts of it, it's got some sections of it that are very majestic sounding. It's for me, even in just the short time I've had it, I would say it's easily 8 or 9 out of 10 album, easily, possibly even more. So that's that one. Right, in the background we are listening to an album I was recommended by a certain Simon, Pieface. Again, if I can work out how to do it, I'll stick his contacts down there, not down there, but you know what I mean, like when you proper YouTubers point down there. And it's called, the band are called Gutter Instinct, and the album's called whatever it says on that font that I can't read because it's too small. However, I'll try and do it without doing a. It's worth listening to. It's raw, savage, brutal, blackened death metal, and it ticks all the boxes if you fancy listening to something dirty, filthy, and absolutely stinking horrible. Get it in your lungs. So that's it. Another shortish one. I'd be interested to hear if anybody's still daft enough to do blind buys, and if so, how many successes you've had, how many failures you've had. Luckily, I would say I'm probably about 80-20 in favour of good shit. The 20%, they'll probably end up in a VCLT, or they'll end up somewhere. Anyway, so thank you very much for watching my first video. Hopefully there's a few of you still interested enough to watch this one. Might even get a number 3. Let's see. Cheers everyone.